Right, we have to talk about Ruben Amorim and Manchester United. What's going to happen, Ash?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
What should happen?
The problem is, I don't want to say they change manager, but how long can this continue? How long can a club the size of Manchester United put up with performances like the one today? It seems to be every week. We're in here talking about it all the time. And the problem is, I think, you know, I'm a fan of managers that have a style and they stick to it. And even when, you know, a couple of bad results and you stick to your style. And as a player, I like that because we knew we didn't change and flip-flop every week what we're doing. But at this point in time, it's like, well, that isn't working, Ruben Amorim. So you have to adapt.
So just for clarity, you like managers who have a plan and stick to it, but you also like managers who go, hey,
at some point, you have to say, I don't have the players to play the way I want, and he doesn't. And I don't see where Manchester United as a club go from this unless they change manager.
And also, the money that's being wasted. So if you're the manager that comes in, and I think there's a responsibility. You see Rashford go to Barcelona. I'm the manager, and he performs like that at another club. I'm hurt by that. Why could I not bring out that ability in him? Why have we have to shove him over to Barcelona? I want that at my club. It seems anyone had any real creativity can actually, okay, there's problems with all these players. You know, Sancho was allowed to leave before. Anyone with any real ability, sorry, you don't fit into my structure. But if the structure isn't well understood and isn't well carried out, then it just all falls down. And at the moment, they just don't look good enough. The calibre of the player, the system they're playing, you then look at it and say, well, if he's only got a win percentage which is 1% more than Graham Potter, who's just been sacked, how is he still in the job? But they want to go long-term. They don't want to keep sacking managers. We're on our 9th manager now. That's the only reason he's still there. If he was 12 months after Sir Alex Ferguson, this had been done weeks ago. But we go again, you know? But I don't know. It might be that he actually steps away for the job himself. And there's been rumours that that's been offered up. So let's see how this pans out in the next few days.
Well, they've got Sunderland next week, and then it's the international break. Does he last until the international break, or maybe even after that, when there's a bit of thinking time at the club?
Well, listen, you don't know in today's football, but the sensible thing to do would be to give him the Sunderland game and then evaluate it after that. But even if he wins, let's say he scrapes through the Sunderland game and they win 2-1 or something, for example, does that really change things for them?
Well, they're only on 7 points.
Do you know what? The style that he
plays, out of the EFL Cup.
The style that he sets up his team is very similar to Crystal Palace. A back three, 2 wing backs, a kind of box midfield and a number 9. And they've nailed it. And for some reason, this Manchester United team, those players cannot get their head around what he wants.
Is it mentality, Martin? Do you look at those players and think to yourselves, right, they have just not got a strong mentality at all, a winning mentality?
It comes down to tuition. You know, like, I've got to get this message across to the players. Some players are visual learners, some players I have to keep repeating, but ultimately it's not working on the pitch and I'm going to be held responsible for that. It simply isn't working. This guy's a young man, he's 39 years of age. I don't know if the pedigree is really there. Manchester United can't keep losing games in the way that they are and keep selling players. They're losing hundreds of millions of pounds on players who've been deemed not good enough, been bought in by other managers. Ten Hag started this, by the way. It looks really mediocre across the group. They're not at the level they need to be at. Things are going to have to change.
At least Ten Hag won cups.
Jay, sorry, there's something going on at the club because we was talking earlier today about De Ligt. And not to single out one player because they're all guilty of it. But if you're Matthijs De Ligt and you've played for the clubs, the calibre that he's played for, you look at him, he looks a nervous wreck in possession. Why is he not galvanising Harry Maguire? Why did they not get it together? So you can blame the manager, I understand that. But some of the players in there have been playing for so long at the top of the game. Get hold of the team.
He's got to start being a leader now. You know, I saw him in front of the Ajax fans giving it, come on, let's have more. I want to see that in a Man United jersey. It's not there. You can't just do your job. You have to step out of your zone to make things happen, and there's not enough of those players at the club.